Hello world! In the previous video we talked about how you cannot be the mind. Simply because here you are, here comes a thought, and then a thought leaves. But who are you when there is no thought? Okay? So with that being said, why is this important? Why should you care about this question? Well, have you ever noticed when you looked at a cat or you looked at a dog or any other animal, have you noticed that they just exude peace and exude this presence that is just magical? Okay? So, the main difference though between us humans and animals is that humans have a very developed mind and is very complex in function, and this is great. However, the problem is that you now see that a thought comes, but then you combine yourself with this thought. Okay? So instead of a thought being just a thought, now you take all thoughts or most thoughts to be who you are, to be yourself. So then you say, I am the mind. And then when you say this, you look at your body and you say, this is my body. Okay? Once this happens, you are doomed. Doomed to non-peace or suffering or resistance. You may not experience this all the time. It may not be obvious all the time, but in the background, it is always there. You always feel incomplete, and you always feel like you're just an isolated fragment in the world. This is what I call ego. Okay? It means that you and the mind are now one. Okay? But like I said before, who are you when there is no thoughts? Okay? So how does combining yourself with thoughts cause you to suffer or to experience non-peace or to experience resistance on a chronic basis? How does it happen? Okay? Well, let's look at an analogy here, something you may have experienced in your life. Okay? So, imagine you get a new car or whatever. It can be any object, but imagine here that you get a brand new car, okay? So when you purchase this car, what happens is who you are, what you are, okay, is here. And then the thought or image of your new car emerges, and immediately you combine yourself with this thought of my car. So then you say, this is my car, okay? Now, have you ever noticed that if you're watching TV, like the news or something, and someone's car gets stolen, and you're like, oh, no big deal. The car's got stolen. I don't know that person. No big deal. But what happens? What happens when your car gets stolen? What happens is that the image you have of yourself having the car, meaning my car, suddenly is ripped away from you. And when this happens, the mind or the ego strongly resists this. And then what happens is you say, damn, it's my car. I can't believe someone stole my car. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So don't you see that when you combine yourself with something and then you lose that object, there is resistance or suffering or non-peace? But when it's someone else's car, meaning when you have never combined yourself with that car, metaphorically speaking, it's no problem. Oh, no problem. It's just his car. No big deal. You see, anytime you combine yourself with the mind, as soon as this happens, you suffer. And the interesting thing is that the mind always comes and goes. As one thought, and it leaves, then the next thought, and then it leaves. Okay, so what happens is, one thought comes, you combine yourself with this thought, and then it leaves. So every time the thought leaves, you suffer. And this has happened all the time. All the time. You're combining, combining, this combining. This causes chronic stress, chronic instability, chronic non-peace. As soon as you don't combine yourself with the mind or its emotions, as soon as you're able to just be yourself without the mind combining with you, then peace, oh, so natural. Then you look at your cat, you look at your dog, and you're like, wow, my peace is the same as your peace. Look how peaceful. I feel so peaceful inside. And look, the cat is just so peaceful. So, with that being said, the source of all problems in your life is simply because you think you're the mind, and then when the mind leaves, that identification is temporarily gone and you suffer. And this happens all the time. So my task for you is, can you realize this for yourself? And if that's the case, will you start disentangling yourself from this? That's something that you have to answer for yourself.